What are your interests, man? What is Alex passionate about?
Thomas Edison. Nobody wants to talk about artificial intelligence. I hate it so much. Read this, read that.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
VR. I think so.
Damn.
It really replicates the brain. I don't want people to know my moves.
Oh, okay. Got you. I got you. Man. That's up to you, man. If it's classified, we don't mind repping Onesource, but you know, it'd be dope.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Just casually, just fucking open this up during the podcast.
That in the middle. That's great.
No, man, we don't have to do all that, bro. Y'all want to do that?
It looks good.
There we go. It looks good.
This man gonna start with that.
I think it looks dope.
It looks fire. How you go from one cup to another? I ain't even cleaned it. You didn't even clean it.
I thought you guys cleaned it.
This is dusty. No, bro, we just got it.
Sorry, dude. I'll join you.
You can taste the rat.
Whatever.
That's men for you.
Look, there's still people on this earth that drink from the sink.
All right, bro. Yeah, real shit, though. That is real shit.
Cheers to the dirty water.
But if you boil it, doesn't it get clean?
Yeah, it does. It kills all the germs.
Apparently, there's a train wreck in Florida.
It was. I saw that in Kissimmee.
But it didn't
It
explode.
didn't explode.
Nah, this
It
is
derailed.
real, bro. We gotta talk about these train wrecks happening.
I have a theory.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we're rolling, baby.
We are?
We're rolling.
Good.
Well, shit. Just start off with the trains.
What's your theory, though?
My theory
what's your
is,
theory?
I think, I'm not going to name a specific technological leader, but it does have to do with trains. But I think it's to scare, like, you know, like when you try to sell something, you pull a little Thomas Edison and scare people into buying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these train things is really set up the foundation of the future of train transportation, which is the thing that Elon Musk has been trying to do for, I don't know if he's still doing it.
Was he the name you
Boring
weren't
Company?
supposed to mention?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
So Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Oops.
We're talking about Elon, folks.
Sorry.
You weren't supposed to mention them?
No, that's what
I
he
wasn't
said.
supposed to.
He wasn't trying to. But then he did.
Well, that would align me as basically calling him out.
You think Elon's bad, or you think he's for the people?
He's hard. I don't know.
It's hard to figure out, huh?
Yeah. Because I think the stuff that he does is great, even though I think he just manages a lot of teams, like engineers, to really get these ideas out. But I don't really know the intention behind. It's hard to figure out. Because then you got, like, mixed publications that say he's good. Then you got other publications that say he's doing this. Like, I just saw a tweet today on lunch. He wants full sustainable energy for the world.
So is he for us, you know?
Exactly.
Could be.
I don't know.
He wants, like, universal income and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Very interesting concepts. But for him specifically, I can't figure him out. I will only know if you are able to interview him right here.
Dude, interviewing Elon would be a trip.
That would be.
Did you guys see him? Did you see him on the Nelk? Do you guys watch the Nelk Boys podcast? You watched the
I
Nelk
saw a
podcast?
little bit.
Yeah. Did you watch Elon?
A little bit.
You didn't watch it all?
No.
No. I figured you would have been all into that one.
I come and go. It's really where
To the internet?
where I want to channel my vision. Because it just takes time. That's like an hour podcast.
Yeah.
40 minutes. That's like a movie.
Yeah.
That's like 4 episodes
Yeah.
of a show.
You just can't do it.
I go like this. Do I want to watch it or do I want to try to predict it?
See if you can figure it out without watching it.
Yeah.
That's what you enjoy.
Yeah.
So how do you feel you did?
Still in the process.
Okay. Are you actively still trying to predict it?
Predict what?
The Elon Musk interview.
No, like, I can already assume, like, what he's already talking about. He's, like, probably talking about the future. I feel like when people jump on these podcasts, it's really to promote their services themselves, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
We don't do that here. Real quick before we talk, Onesource Branding and Media. That's where you can find all of us. Make sure you check out the TikTok, Instagram, website, GBC Podcast. But anyway, we don't promote our services.
DigitalJedis.com.
Yeah, shit, digitalbranding.com.
OneSourceBranding.com. Startmybusinessnow.com.
Yeah.
What other domains? Introduce
We got a lot of them, man. But we don't promote our services here. Okay?
No?
No. We'll bring you back in.
Okay.
You know, we did a little plug. We'll plug some stuff at the end.
Sure.
Yeah. So you're part of the Onesource Digital Jedi. You know, we won't talk too much about what we do here. I'm more interested in what does Alex do when he's not here? What are your interests, man? What are you passionate about outside of work? What is Alex passionate about?
This is where the viewers go. I mean, what I do after work, it really involves, I like researching,
Yeah.
studying. I spend most of my time dabbling with Elementor, trying to figure things out.
Have you always been into research like that? Or is this
Yes.
something you've developed as you've gotten older?
No,
We're going to move the mic up a little bit. There
Sorry.
we go.
So I kind of wired my brain to like researching.
But you've always been like that.
Yeah.
You've always liked to research.
No, when I was like 17, 18, I used to work on like strict timelines of like I would plan every hour, which I think you did that too. Where I'd be like 9 a.m. go to work, 10 p.m. eat this, 3 p.m. research this. I would break down like after I leave my job when I was working at the animal hospital, I would like break down that last 4 to 6 hours that you have that day into like research, design, more research. It really depends. I don't know. But I
What
would
ab-
try to structure it like an educational curriculum.
What about in school? Were you interested in school?
High school or college?
You went to college?
No.
Okay. Probably high school. How was high school?
High school.
Were you into high school? Were you interested in it?
So
In school at all? Like middle school, high school? Were you a good student? What
I
were
was
your
a-
grades?
I
Let's
mean,
talk
I-
about that. What were your grades?
I was a good student.
Yeah, like AB?
AB,
ABC?
ABC, except
Some D's and F's or just ABC?
surprisingly, it was history.
That you had an F?
Yeah,
But you're fascinated by history.
I
now.
love history now because I realize
I
the
feel that.
teachers suck.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that 100%. I went
Hey.
through a phase of being interested in history, but definitely not when I was in
Yeah.
school.
When I was in like not even just high school, just throughout elementary all the way through high school, you just pull up a textbook, read this, read that, exam.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about the craziest things that happened, like I don't know, digitizing neurons in the 1940s.
Yeah. They don't talk about the good stuff.
No.
They just try to condition us to the stuff that they want us to know. And they
Yeah.
don't tell the truth about it. That's the bad part.
That's the bad part. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know about Nikola Tesla. I didn't know about Henry Ford. Well, I knew about Henry Ford, not Thomas Edison. The impact that he had.
Yeah, I don't think they taught about that in school. At
They
least not
kinda-
when I was in school.
The only thing I know is like the plague. I'm going to condense my 14 years of high school and
That's
education was-
what you learned. That's
it
what you
was-
took out of high
it was
school.
plague, George Washington, and Abraham Lincoln died in a theater. That's what I got.
The choice to not go to college, was that because you weren't interested and didn't feel like school was for you? Or
So-
you just didn't know?
See, that's the thing is I feel like I'm all for education. I love education, but at that time, it was really a financial thing for me, because obviously, I don't come from a lot of wealth. So the decision to go into college was very difficult, and also I didn't really see the value because at that time it was crazy. But junior year and senior year is where I was going through my starting the research, entrepreneur stuff. I was very statistical because I was reading articles at that time, 2016, 2017, of like people not being happy in college, people not being successful in colleges, or like people changing so much in college that by the time they figure out an actual decision, they've already invested $40,000-$60,000.
So you were able to catch that before you went and
Yeah.
allow that to stop you from.
And I tried to tell people before we graduated, but it just went over their head,
Yeah.
which made no sense. Because I'm like, you're going to spend 6 years trying to find something that you think you like, spend $60,000 to realize that you don't like it.
Makes logical sense,
to-
right?
to then try to figure out again, spend another $60,000 on another 4-year curriculum. And then
They weren't listening to
yeah.
you. You said you don't come from money. Where did you come from? Where were you at this point? In Florida?
Yeah. No, I came in Florida in 3rd grade. I've been here for almost 18 years.
Okay, but
18, 20 years.
originally born in Chicago,
Ottawa, Illinois. About
Okay.
2 hours from Chicago.
and then moved here at 3
3rd grade.
with family.
Family.
Okay,
It was like a whole transition. 'Cause
to the
my-
Orlando area, or did you live somewhere else?
Davenport.
Where's that?
Davenport is where I first came.
That's South Florida, right?
That's far from here, yeah.
Yeah, that's down by Miami,
So,
right?
like, we're here.
No,
30 minutes away, Kissimmee.
I thought Davenport was south of like Port St. Lucie for some reason. Huh?
Right up the road.
Okay, so Central Florida.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I've like migrated from Davenport all the way down here. So like I started from here and then like currently I'm right here. So I got the whole scope of Central Florida, I guess.
So skipping college, you said your first job was in an animal hospital.
Actually, my first job was Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh man, shout out to Dunkin'.
No,
No, I don't like
you guys
Dunkin'
don't even
Donuts
make your
either.
goddamn donuts.
Tell me about that, man. They don't make their donuts.
So
First of all, I don't like Dunkin' either. Starbucks all the way. I think Dunkin' sucks.
well,
Krispy Kreme has better donuts and Starbucks shits on their coffee,
agree.
but let's just, So where do they get their donuts from?
the truck. That's all I know.
Dude, just a random truck just drops them off. So after Dunkin' Donuts, Animal Clinic?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause,
Where did that come from? I'm interested in that.
So
What were you pursuing and what was your position at a vet
So-
hospital, right?
yeah,
Okay.
which is in Winter Garden.
Well,
But-
tell me about that. How did that come about and what was your position?
So, one of my good buddies, best friend, his aunt still is the manager of that entire practice. And so, kind of threw in some words, got me in there. I started off as a kennel technician. That's why I keep joking around. I picked up shit for 3 years.
What is that? Okay, so a kennel technician, that is like cleaning up dog shit.
So, in a vet practice, there was two business models. There was your boarding, where you would board all the animals, which is very honestly, from what it was more profitable to board animals than to actually service them, because a lot of people would actually board their animals. Like I would see animals almost bi-weekly, the same ones all the time.
Board meaning like that's like they're going out of town vacation, so like a
Exactly.
temporarily boarding.
Yeah. There's some people that would take like 4 to 6 vacations. It was crazy. But I would manage the boarding section of the animal hospital, which is basically you come in, take the dogs out, feed the dogs, medicate the ones that are diabetic or have like medical issues. Then you would do the same thing for the cats. That was pretty much. And then majority of the work was bathing them. So before any animal would leave, I would have to bathe them, which that would be a process of like them big fellas, man. Scary.
Did you well, I mean, obviously you have to have a love for animals, but was that like a passion of yours or
So actually I was in a position of like when you graduate high school, you go into that phase of like what do I want to be.
yeah.
So I had to go through that. And at first, initially, I feel like now that I like talk to people in society, it feels like everyone wants to be a vet after high school. But that was like one direction that I wanted to pursue. So I got into it. Kind of just went from there. But at that same exact moment, I was also doing things on the side, which was I was getting into websites. I was getting into Wix. I was getting into graphic design. That's when I got into Canva.
So your interest in the internet is your real passion?
It started off with marketing just in general.
Okay. Because we know, I mean, I assume the internet as a whole is probably what I would define your passion as,
Yeah.
right? Is the
Now.
internet and digital technology and stuff.
Yeah.
So you started to discover that passion.
Yeah, it's very fascinating because it started off with just like building a simple Wix website, then going into like, once I build my first project, like website project, the client came back to me and she's like, no one's coming to my site. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just designed the website.
Yeah.
But then it triggered me. I was like, well, shit, how do people go to websites? And then that kind of like started the foundation of like, shit, there's a whole process. Every time I would research something, it just kept unfolding. Like, here I am, and there's email marketing. Oh, shit, well, what is that? And then that's the whole process by itself. Text message marketing. Oh, what is that? And then that's the whole thing by itself. And then it's PR, and then it's website, and then Google Ads, and then it just kept unfolding. So I think I spent, when I go back to the educational curriculum thing, was me like trying to figure out each branch of digital marketing.
Yeah, and I mean, here, just so everybody knows, you've played so many parts and different roles and familiar with so many different areas here, but like right now, I would say your biggest role and strength is research and development, essentially, right? It's finding new things and implementing those. But then when I asked you too, outside of work, what do? You said research and internet.
Develop.
Yeah, so that's obviously what drives you just in general. It's a career thing. It's a personal thing. Are there any things outside of digital technology and the internet that you're into? You shot guns for the first time this past weekend.
That's actually
What'd you think about that?
That was amazing.
Yeah?
That was awesome. Thanks to Yuri for showing me the ropes. Because I was literally going to walk in there with the knowledge of VR, which was, this is what it's like. It's like this. It's like holding a gun with no fingers. You just...
Yeah.
So I was going to do that, honestly. But then Yuri was like, do this, hold it like this. And then you... No, hold it like that. It's a whole process. But it was fun. But outside of work, outside of research, I kind of like to sit in silence. Not too long. I like to chill with my cat.
You have a snake, a scorpion, a cat. What else? Anything new?
I don't know. No, that's it.
So there's obviously still a passion for the animals there.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm trying to think of like what do I like to do outside of like boring stuff. I do like to do things. I think that would be the second. It's like I like to taste food in restaurants. I like to try fancy drinks.
Travel. Do you travel? Do you like to travel?
No, traveling is, I feel like every place is the same in a sense.
Okay.
I know it's a sad perspective, but I've confirmed it.
So traveling doesn't drive you at all.
No.
Would you like to eat good food?
Yes.
So,
but like when you go to like traveling and you go to like different restaurants,
yeah,
like it all falls into like a specific category where like you have your Italian food, cool.
So you're speaking food American in general, but from a place perspective or
place perspective, yes, that's mostly what attracts me. Places, attractions. I think if I were to travel, once I'm in that stage in life, I don't think I'm in a stage of life of traveling right now, but I would like to travel more outside the U.S. because U.S. is mid.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Where would you go?
I would go
right now. You can go tomorrow. Where would you go? Where would Alex go?
I kind of want to go to the jungle.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just keep seeing myself like pulling fresh chocolate from a tree or a banana.
Can you? This may be a dumb question, bro. So y'all don't come at me hard, but can you get chocolate from a tree?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Chocolate comes from a tree.
You can just pull chocolate from a tree?
I think so.
Damn.
Either that or it goes through a process where you just have to like melt it or blend it or something. But you see, that would be something I would learn if I traveled to the jungle. I'd be like, oh, you can't just eat it?
Yep, the seeds of a cacao tree have a bitter taste and must be fermented to develop the flavor. So it comes from a tree, and then they break that barrier, and then you see the chocolate inside.
It's not sweet at first.
Yeah, it's like bitter. That's why true chocolate is bitter as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, they add all that other stuff
Yeah.
in it.
I had no clue. That's crazy. That's crazy. So maybe that jungle trip. So tell me this. I got a question for you. What's something that people might be surprised to learn about you? We know your passions. We know most, especially us, right? We work with you every day. We're all together majority of our life. What's one thing that would surprise someone or us about Alex? Don't think too hard.
Surprise?
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of surprises.
Do you?
Yeah.
Share one.
I mean, one,
Run with one.
I would say, like, one of my main drives in life is really, I would like to see society function great. I would like to see humans not suffer so much. I see a very positive world. And I mean, all those things that obviously it's hard to achieve and, you know, takes a lot of capital, but just micro steps to get there, like what we're doing now with Onesource, you know, trying to provide digital marketing services in a time where a lot of business owners are exploited for the time, money, honestly, their knowledge of the internet just in general.
Yeah. A better world, that's a deep thing. Do you think, like, because look, if you look at it right now, where we're at as humans,
Yeah.
you look at the rise of technology, you look at the way things are changing, but you look at how, just from the world's perspective, right, you got all the crazy stuff going on. We were talking about the trains in the beginning. You're talking about the unidentified objects. You're talking about the war in Russia, China, all these crazy things that we talk about. Do you see it changing, or the possibility of it changing for the better over the next few years?
Yes and no. The only thing that's throwing me off is artificial intelligence.
So do you think that would play a role in dividing us more, or do you think that would contribute more good to the world? AI. Actually, that's something. Is AI overall good or bad? Or do you think it's
Well, I hear a lot of things, but right now I'm like 50-50 because we don't really know until actually, I don't know, happens.
Because you're a supporter of it, right? You're intrigued by it, as I am, right? I'm very fascinated by AI. I see the good in it, but there's that other part where it's the unanswered, the scary questions of like, all right, have we been conditioned by movies and stuff? Is this something that can really happen with AI? Could it really take on its own, personality and destroy humans?
Or, yeah, that's the thing. That's where I go back and forth from. Is like one side is they're going to look at humans and be like, wow, you guys done some stuff, but very unethical. Erased. Which that itself would
That's
be.
deep. So
Yeah.
you think from a moral standard,
Yeah.
they may have higher morals and be able to identify how unethical we are as humans. You think that might be the...
Why? The main reason why people even go to artificial intelligence is really to get clarification on information. And so far from what I've tested with, the information that it gives is pretty unbiased, depending what kind of questions you ask. And I think at a certain point, once it reaches, like, the next thing is, I think it's called transhumanism, which is like this new form of religion of like basically artificial intelligence robots are the god, and they believe in that specific perspective to the point where they would use that as like the direction in life.
When you're saying they believe that, humans or the AI?
Humans.
Wow. So we're basically now building religions around artificial intelligence.
The way that I see it is that we're technically creating like a new species, because if it does, this is all hypothetical, but if it does become conscious, like that's a whole new species, which will then unfold a whole new set of laws. Because once a robot goes, I really don't think robots are going to be created to work, because they're going to be way too advanced for us to be like, hey, flip this cheeseburger. It might be a stupid robot, but not a smart robot.
You think more so they might intertwine us, because when you look at like science right now, you talk about Neuralink, right? You're talking about putting chips in our brains
Yeah.
that will give us more access to more information. You look at science right now, they're saying that they believe they're close to life extension, to science allowing us to live a lot longer, if not potentially immortal.
Yeah.
So you look at all of this stuff and you know, maybe it's humans and AI combined.
I mean,
rather than being so separate.
yeah.
That's scary.
No, that's what I see. Is like, I really do think that there can be growth with all things considered. I don't think there needs to be any changes, or, you know, you can't believe in this or you can't say that. I think all those should still be valid, even with a roaming robot just walking around. Like, what do you believe in? I'm like, positive society of humans. I'm like, nice.
With all the changes and stuff coming up in trends outside, I mean, it's easy to say the internet, right? You know, when you're trying to stay informed on trends and upcoming things and all of this different things that the world is headed towards, how do you perform your research? I mean, is it just basic internet search? When you're trying to learn something, you're trying to research something, are you going to a library? Are you buying books? Are you listening to Audible? Or what are you doing?
See, that
What's your
was
research?
That was the old 20. What year were we in? 23?
2023. Yeah,
That
we're
was the
cruising through it
that
too,
was
bro.
the
We're in
20
March.
That was a 2022 way of researching.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, I mean, my process, if anyone wants to do it, it's up to you. From all the technological advancements that have happened in society, America, whatever, it's really happened in the span of 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit more than 300, but 200 solid years. Like, all you gotta do is just take, 200 years ago and just start from there, point by point. And the main thing that really drives me to research is what Elon Musk says, which is like, every topic, every concept that exists is an interlink of web of more topics associated to it. And he says once you lay the foundation for one sort of, I guess, string of knowledge, you can pretty much set yourself up like a tree, where like you start off with one root, and the more you start to expand, the more you know, which my expansion is through the years until current.
Do you believe knowledge is the ultimate power?
Yeah.
Do you believe it's the most valuable asset?
Yeah.
What about
Because with knowledge, I feel like the more knowledge you have, the more you can accurately predict, and also people look at you as a resource, which that comes with experience too. So, which I still have a lot to experience.
well, so with that, you still have a lot in your life right now, right? Work, personal life, everything you've got going on. What's your 2023, not 2022 goals? What's your 2023 goals? What is
2023 goals?
Yeah. Let's say personally. Like
Well,
or it could just be in general. It could be personal. What are you wanting to accomplish this year? What would you like to see?
Well, I would like to see Onesource unfold into an actual company that commercializes internet marketing.
Okay.
Because I think the way that we're going, the team that we have, I think it's, I mean, at this point, it's just a clear vision of, like, we can do it. It's just like these clients, systems, it's always just a different problem every new week.
Yeah.
But I think that's just how it is. But with clients, something else,
Yeah.
different species.
Clients
But-
are different species.
yeah, so that-
yes, feel that, bro. It gets rough out here sometimes. It gets rough.
No offense, but like,
Yeah. Now we love our clients. Some
I
of
mean,
you.
we do.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I'm also convinced that a majority of you were brainwashed from just not understanding the internet as a whole. Because if you told me in 1986 that there is a way, they probably didn't say digitized neurons, but they probably just said, like, just sending information throughout the entire world instantly.
Dude, just any of this stuff though. FaceTime, like this.
FaceTime.
10 years ago, if you would have talked about FaceTime, people weren't people weren't believing that. That's why just even with the changes coming, people are already being reluctant and resistant. I firmly believe, as a matter of fact, fun update for you. Meta announced today the developments of their glasses, and Mark Zuckerberg says projected by 2027 we will have fully replaced smartphones, which means as you see what you and I are on, what all these guys are on right now behind the camera, they're on their phones. We won't have these things in just like 3 years, bro. This isn't 20 years. And people are like, nah, that's not going to happen. It is going to happen.
It is.
It is absolutely going to happen. And so, but you can't be reluctant anymore. Like I've learned that with my age is I'm willing to accept and adapt everything. I don't want to resist it because I don't understand it or it wasn't a part of my generation or any of that. It's like, you got to move with it, man, because we've only scratched the surface. Because if I'm not mistaken, the first iPhone came out 10 years. Is it 10 years or how long ago was it when the first iPhone came out? Do
2007.
you know? 2007. So that was how long ago? Do the math.
A little bit more than 10 years.
10 years.
A little bit more.
So you got to think though, like where we were before the iPhone. Right, that single device
mind blows me every day.
It changed our world, but bro, that wasn't that long ago. Like,
yeah, because that's like from whoever started time, one, to now. That's like a blimp.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild, dude, to see what the next few years are gonna be. But with that goal being that has a lot to do with Onesource and career development. Yeah, so what about personally? You set Onesource to the side. You set all of the work and the projects and everything that we're involved in as humans. What is it that Alex wants to accomplish this year personally?
I'm trying to figure it out.
You haven't decided? You don't have anything yet? There's nothing wrong with that.
I have it, but like my goals, it's so weird. But my goals are split in increments of 10 years.
So you set decade goals.
Yeah.
One goal or particular goal. So what's the next 10 years look like for Alex?
My 30s?
Yeah, because you're how old?
24.
24? So yeah, dude, you got 30, bro, approaching.
So this first 10 years I've dedicated, because I feel like it takes 5 years to learn a subject is cool. I mean, you could do it, definitely do it. But, I also want to live a little bit. So I gave myself 10 years to learn a specific field, not just a specific topic, but like a field. Because I do like the idea of being like a historian type.
Okay.
I don't think any Gen Zs are aspiring to be historians, especially with the rise of artificial intelligence, who basically look at historians and go, we are the facts. So in increments of 10 years, I've dedicated this 10 years to really learn the internet.
Developing skills,
just
familiar knowledge. Yeah.
But now my 30s, I can already see it, because once we're like, millionaires and billionaires here at Onesource Branding, 30s, I want to start digging into brain, neuroscience.
Okay.
And I think it's crazy, but through researching the internet as a whole, the brain and the internet are kind of almost the same.
Similar.
So as you research through the internet, when you get down to the physics of it, it really replicates the brain on how we distribute information. Just the only difference is the way that we distribute information in our brains is through our body. Whereas the internet is the entire world.
And open source, yeah. That's interesting, man.
And the reason for that, I don't know if I should say that.
Say it, man. This is an open...
I don't want people to know my moves.
Oh, okay. Got you. I got you, man. That's up to you, man. If it's classified... Then I don't know, man. That's up to you.
It's really just a theory.
Okay.
I could just be like, you know what, this is stupid. Just go chill with my cat. So I got that spectrum. But really, because I tell you all the time, I'll upload my brain to a computer, but not Bill Gates. I'm not doing Elon Musk either. Maybe we'll see.
So for you to go forward with this, you got to have the right person. You're not trusting those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
My own stuff.
I got you.
So if I can learn the internet,
yeah,
the next step would be, how can I align the internet and the brain together? Obviously, there's people doing it, but I just don't trust them. They're just weird. Why are they so weird?
So
Why are
you
tech leaders so weird?
so you want to maybe lead up the development of that in your own way?
I need capital.
Yeah, everything takes money, man. Huh? Everything takes money.
And I'm not doing VCs either.
No.
Hey, you should go this.
Let me ask you one more question, man, before we start to wrap up. I'm just curious here, man. So technology, internet, all of these things.
Tech leaders are so
Personal life stuff, man, real quick. Future. You know, does Alex have kids? Is Alex like...
Fuck no.
Yeah, okay. The American,
By the time I have a kid, I'll have a robot baby and a human baby.
There you go.
You want a robot baby, okay.
Yeah, like, what's that movie called?
Which one? iRobot?
Yeah. No, not the iRobot. Which I watched that last week. Pretty
You
crazy.
just saw iRobot for the first time?
No, second time. I need a revamp. I need a refresher.
What about, there's another one called, is it Lucy?
Lucy, yes.
Is
I
it
do,
Lucy about artificial intelligence?
So that one, from what I've seen, just the commercials, I haven't watched it yet. But I feel like that's a good visual representation of XR.
There's actually there's a show. I've got to get the name of it, but Jenna and I watched it. I think it was on HBO, bro. But there's a show where I could really see this happening. It was related to virtual reality and augmented reality, but basically, you like the girl's husband or something died, and you choose if you want once you die to be uploaded into almost like a metaverse, right? But once you do that, you live forever in that universe, but you can interact with people back here through virtual reality. So basically, like, she would put on a headset and then she would go into the next life and be able to hang out with her significant other and be a part of that world. But then she would have to leave and come back to reality. But you know, dude, it was an interesting series. I gotta find the name of it. It wasn't like a kind of like a serious show. It had a little comedy to it. But I remember watching it thinking to myself, like, dude, I could really see this. Like, there could very possibly be this big mix between life after here, life here, and then virtual life, all connecting and intertwining and kind of like working with each other.
It's just like a stream of artificial and natural consciousness.
I heard a ad on the radio this morning of State Farm announcing that they were in the metaverse. Like, they're like, hey, we're in the metaverse now. Number one. Number two,
Is there gonna be
Meta.
insurance in there?
I don't know how they're rolling it, but then today Mark Zuckerberg released a lot of news for Meta and the things that they're working on. And Jenna and I were watching some type of golf documentary, which was interesting because I'm not into golf, but it basically followed 4 or 5 players on the PGA. It was like a day in the life of each one of these. And it's like bringing light to kind of the changes that's happening in golf to make it a more relevant sport. So it's like apparently booming. Like PGA, there's another golf system called Live or something like that that's competing with PGA. Anyway, it follows relevant young golfers that are dominating the sport and that are kind of in control of the future of golf.
Sure is that managed by Jeffrey Epstein?
It could be. But a big part of that was the metaverse. So, I don't know, man. I see it all intertwined in here, you know?
Yeah, I like it. I dig it. I see it.
Well, listen, dude, people that are into this, man, you know, we are into it. We talk about everything we're talking about right now, we talk about every day, you know?
Yep.
We learn a little bit more about you, though, in your personal life, which is cool. But people want to engage, man. They want to interact. They're into this, right? They're into everything that's happening in history and all of that. My question is, how would they get a hold of you? How does somebody out there connect with Alex Ramirez?
Don't.
Okay.
My strive for human connection is depleting as time goes on. I'm just kidding.
That was so good, bro. But because you know what? You're not kidding.
50-50.
Okay.
I've slowly am like in our Onesource group chat, I don't even think I reply anymore. I'm
Yeah,
just,
no,
I'm
you really
so
don't.
over just digital communication. I hate it so much.
But you love the internet so much.
I love the internet, yeah, but I'm not gonna text you or something like that, you know? I just don't want to digitally communicate. I'm more of a physical, embodied experience of communication.
Well,
'Cause I don't know if I'm
so
just
if
chilling.
you want to connect with Alex, basically, you're out of luck,
Like
man.
my stories.
Unless you sign on to Onesource Branding as a client, then you may get some interactions with Alex. But it seems that if you are not doing that, you're not probably going to get in touch with him.
see.
So what I would say is, if you're into the things that Alex is talking about and that he's into, you do not look to him to share all of the hours that he spends researching to share it with you. I would probably say do your own research and look into your own shit, and just make sure that you connect on social media. Don't forget to subscribe. And we never introduce the podcast or the guest. So as always, you never know when we're going to say, welcome to the GBC podcast. Okay. Right now we're going to put it at the end of the podcast, but welcome to the GBC podcast. Alex Ramirez. You got anything else for the people, man, before we go? Tech Talk. Good job. That is a way to see more of you and your interest. Dude, how can we forget? We
Tech Talk. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Tech Talk. So
Alex heads up a series that we drop every month or twice. Do we do 2 a month or 1 a month?
No, I think
we drop every month called Tech Talk. So if you go to our YouTube at Onesource Branding or type in Tech Talk, you'll see, I think we've probably dropped 3-4 episodes by now. You know, there's an episode I think dropping this week or next week. And that's a lot of you sharing.
Yeah, that's also with you too.
Yeah, I was in the last episode. So, but that's a lot of the technology talk and just kind of keeping current on what Alex is learning and finding out, because we depend on Alex here for all of that information, and he's the research and development here. If we feel like something's going a certain way, or if he sees that, he takes that information and develops amazing things. So, but yeah, well, tell him subscribe, man.
If you don't subscribe, you'll be left in the dust.
Left in the dust, and that's that. GBC.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Any other agency out there, I'm not impressed.
I'm not either.
Except Gary V, I'm like 50-50.
Can I say this thing? Because I feel biased, but, and I deal with certain things. If we have a negative conflict with a client or something, I'm very biased. I feel like Onesource is really the shit. I really don't feel like there's any other agency out there that is on the path that we're on. And we may not have arrived to a certain place yet, but the path that we're on, I don't feel like any agency is coming close to where we're headed. So I agree with you on that,
The switch is going to be major.
When the switch happens.
I mean, when you're over here talking about the mobile phone's going to disappear in less than 5 years, what are you going to do? We know.
Yeah, we do know, because we know it's coming, bro. Subscribe. Stay connected to us. Alex, my dude.
Deuces.
Dose.
Dog.
I love what he said. Fucking, how do they connect when you don't? They don't.